Hi, everybody. I'm back, and it's another Thursday with Lunch and Learn. I'm Dr. Betsy Greenleaf, and today we're going to go over. I'm going to get my banner. Here we go. Wish, wants, and goals. So, I want to tell you a little story to start off. When I was a little girl, I believed that if you wished for something badly enough, it became true. That's just the way the world works. Come on, you've known somebody that's blew out a few candles, got the bigger piece out of a wishbone, wished upon a star. So when I was 5 years old, I wished and wanted to become a cheerleader. Not just any cheerleader, a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I mean, they had the hair, they had the boots, they had the fringe, and they had the boobs. So when my town was hosting the annual cheerleading tryouts, I was there and I was ready. I remember the day of tryouts, I went in, I had my little Dorothy Hamill haircut, and I kind of went bouncing in there, and I was waiting online, and Regina in the corner was doing front flips, back flips, side flips, flips I didn't even know had names. But it didn't matter to me because I really wished for this to be true, and I wished for it to happen. So I went in and I did my cartwheel and I landed on my feet this time. I did my cheer. I did my split, or rather, I did a split. I kind of got down, but not all the way down. And I was so proud of myself. I walked out of there, held head high, thinking, I nailed this. And so a week later, I'm sitting in my kitchen wishing for the phone to ring because I knew that the coach was calling that night with who got on the team. And I'm staring at that telephone, the kind with the cord that used to twist on itself. And I'm like, ring, ring, ring. And then all of a sudden, bring! My dad gets up, winks at me, answers the phone. Hey, coach. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you too. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Click. What did she say? What did she say? Did I get it? Well, what happened next, I'm not exactly quite sure. There was this blood curdling, soul smashing scream that came deep within my soul. Why? Why? I mean, I wanted it so badly. I wished for it to happen. Needless to say, I did not become a cheerleader that year. But what I learned from that episode was probably the most life-changing thing I could ever learn, was that it wasn't enough to wish and want. That you needed to have hard work and dedication to get where you want. And for me, that's what I did. I worked really hard to get through medical school, internship, residency, another residency, fellowship, and so that I could be the best that I could be. And it doesn't end. I keep going. If you follow me on any way social media, see that I'm currently in school again. And there's just so much to learn about life and living that the learning's never ending. But what I bring this up is I bring this up for how does this apply to you? I see many of us, and I've done it myself. You go to the doctor or you go to a health coach and you go, I want to be better. I want to be better. I wish to be better. If I just wish hard enough and I want it bad enough, it's going to happen. But here's the problem is that as a doctor and as a physician, I want you to be your best too. But what I see with my colleagues is they just don't have the time to spend with you to get you to where you need to be your best. I look at myself more as a guide. And let's take, I can show you the steps, but I can't go home and do the work for you. I can't go home and exercise for you. Believe me, if it was that easy, I'd have somebody exercising for me. I can't go home and drink the water for you. I can't go home and take the supplements or the medication for you. I can't do the meditation for you. But see, that's okay, because when you're working with somebody like myself or somebody else who is a true health guide, they can help you along the way. And, doing the work is just going to get you 10 times farther. So, what I look at is that I'm not just a doctor. I'm your health coach, your health guide, and I'm your personal cheerleader. So, with that said, how can we overcome this wishing, wanting, and goals? Well, there's some easy steps. And like I said, once again, it takes a little work. And this is something that I have to do for myself. This is something that I ask my patients to do. But we need to come down to, what is your ultimate why? Why do you want to feel better? Why do you want to gain weight? Why do you want to, gain weight? Well, you might be a person who gains weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to be more active? And one of an easy ways to find out what your ultimate why is just keep breaking it down until you can't answer that why anymore. For example, I'm going to use an example of Debbie. Debbie came in and wanted to lose weight. Why? Well, because she wanted to be healthier. Why? Because she wanted to be able to go for a walk with her kids without feeling winded. Why? Because she wanted to be around for her kids to see them graduate. Why? Because she loved her family and wanted to be the best that she could be for them. And you just keep going down. I know another woman, Tanya. And weight is an easy example. There, you can use this for any kind of condition, but she had some weight to lose. Why? She wanted to feel good about the way she looked. Why? Because she, at that time, did not feel comfortable in her own skin. Why? Because she wanted to be able to have confidence when she went out. Why? Because she wanted to portray the person that she felt like on the inside. She felt like this powerful woman, but that her weight was holding her back. Why? And kept asking why and why and why, to her ultimate why was that she wanted to have self-love and self-respect. So that's an easy reason. That's an easy way to try to figure out, like, what is your ultimate goal and why do you want to get there? Are you a person that's having pain? We deal with a lot of pain conditions in our office. Why do you want to be pain free? And you keep going down. I want to be able to do things with my family. I want to go for walks. And so this is something, if you write down, if you handwrite it, you actually will get more, because there's a process of your brain processing the handwriting that actually kind of sets it deeper into your brain. So that's a great tool for figuring out, well, what's your ultimate why? And then there's another thing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab a box to show you, because this is a great tool to show another thing about how to work with goals. Hopefully you guys can see what I have written on this box. But most people, when they're dealing with their goals, they're dealing with things that they want and things that they don't want. So the things you want and the things you don't want. And what happens is people get so focused on those two things that they don't ever deal with the other factors around why they're not achieving their goals. They're not dealing with, what's my identity? And how do the people around me see me? So, for example, if you are a person who's ill, has your illness become part of your identity? this is a tough topic, but I'm going to bring up a topic that I see a lot with people when it comes to pelvic pain. Now, not everybody fits this mold, but I'm going to give an example. So we have a woman, let's just say her name's Sally, has pelvic pain. And she's like, I want to be pain-free. I don't want to have pain anymore. I want to feel whole. I don't want to feel broken. But at the same time, Sally identifies as a person with pain because she has had this pain for so long, she doesn't know how else to deal with it. So she's come into this victim mentality where it's woe is me. I'm the one who's broken. I'm the one who's sick. I'm the one who's not getting better. And now this has become part of her identity. And now the other problem is now the people around her react to her like that. So if you want to make change, what you need to do is first take a look at the people that are around you. Because they always say that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are those people that support you no matter what? Are those people that make you feel good about yourself? Are those people that are helping you? Are those people that are keeping you in the place that you are at? Are they people that are telling you you're never going to be better, this is not going to get better, or is it something that you're telling yourself in your mind? And then you have to focus on your identity. Like, am I that sick person? What happens if I get rid of that sick person identity? What can I be? What can I become? And start imaging and picturing yourself as the person that you want to become. And that will slowly start to change your identity. So inside the box is a little harder. And this is what's harder. These are the decisions that we have to make to actually change the people that are not serving us well. And this is hard to do with this camera. And the people that are not serving us well, and the identity that's not serving us. So we need to sometimes make some hard decisions. I'll tell you in my life that I was having a hard time getting to where I wanted in my career. And I realized that the people that I was surrounding myself, in particular, one of the jobs that I was working with was filled with a lot of people that had a lot of negativity. They also had a lot of attitudes towards women in medicine that was not very supportive. Yet I identified as a martyr. And I was sacrificing myself for my patients and for what I thought was the good of my career, because I thought I was being loyal by staying in the same place. And it wasn't until I realized that I was in this vicious cycle of what I wanted out of my life and what I didn't want, that all of a sudden I needed to go, wait a minute, I need to make changes. And the only internal changes I can make is going back to identifying myself as a person that was bubbly, full of energy, that wanted to help people, and to distance myself from the people who were holding me back. So this is like an easy thing that you can do on your own. You can actually grab a box, or let me see if I can grab a pen. You can do the same thing with just a piece of paper and a pen. Draw a box on a piece of paper and put want and don't want. You can put want and don't want. And then identity, people, and decisions. And just sit with that. You might not even have to do anything more than that. Just sit with those ideas for a while. And what you can do then is potentially write down, like, what do I identify myself? What are the people around me? How are they supporting me or not supporting me? What are the things that I want and don't want, and what are the decisions I need to get to where I want to be? like I said, you may not know what your want and your ultimate why is, but your ultimate why will also feed in this. So remember, put down your why and then ask your question. Why do I want this? Next down, why do I want that? Why? Until you can't write a why anymore. And you'll be surprised to find out what is your ultimate why. What is the ultimate reason why you want to get better or want to improve or want to lose weight or want to run a marathon or whatever your goals are in life. These are just some, little small things that can help with working with the brain and working with language to try to change your life. And when you do these things, these actually will help you with your goals when it comes to plans, when it comes to if you're going to the doctor. This is something that I like for my patients to do. I don't always bring it up on the first visit, but we do get to it eventually, because for them or for you to succeed in anything that you're wanting to do, you need to figure out these things. Another option is just journaling. There's so much power in journal. There's studies that have shown about journaling. And, it's funny. If you're anything like me and you're super busy, I know the benefits of journaling. I'll get to it later. But you know what? I have found that 10 minutes a day, sit down and write down whatever comes to my mind. And then it's on paper. You're pissed off at the boss, write it down, get it out on the paper. Because guess what? It's a lot safer to get that thing out on paper than it is to go into work and blow up at your boss or your spouse or your kids. It gives your brain time to kind of comprehend and reorganize and go, all right, you know what? I can deal with it. This is much easier. One of the problems in modern day life is that we really are bombarded with so much different stimuli and information, and dogs barking in the background. So that's going to happen again. When our body doesn't know the difference between these stressors of work and things that are constantly coming in, and having to run away from saber-toothed tiger. So our bodies, from a health standpoint, deal with all these stressors by turning this into hormones and activating our fight and flight system. And when our fight and flight system is activated, we take away energy from digestion and take away from our reproductive organs. And so therefore, we tend to get illness related to the gut. We get illness related to the pelvic organs. And these areas can then prevent healing, lead to autoimmune issues, relate to other disease. So anything that we can do to get our brains to focus and relax and kind of tune into ourselves is really a good practice to do. And when I say practice, it is a practice. Sure, I have friends that I'm like, they meditate every day, and I go, wow, that's really, I have a hard time meditating. But because you know what? Nobody meditated and was the best meditator at the first time they did it. Nobody was the best exerciser, the best, healthy eater, the very first time they did. Everything you do takes practice. And that's the thing with life, getting better and better as we go on. So yeah, I have Drax here today. Drax, the bull mastiff. He's replacing Dan on our podcast today. And Drax is here to say hello. In fact, actually, he is coming in here to say hello. So we're gonna say hello to him. Say hi, Drax. You wanted to be on the Facebook Live today. I know, I love you too. So, all right. So yes, Drax is a 165-pound bull mastiff. He's 2 years old, and he's photobombing my my Facebook Live today. But what's a good you don't have a good Zoom or good broadcast without a toddler, kid, animal photobombing it nowadays. So. So really today I wanted to focus on wishing, wanting, and goals, and how do you set those goals? Now let's talk a minute about goals. Um, I Hey, I've been there too. I'm like, hey, I would like to lose 40 pounds, but how about, how much weight do you want? Do you want to lose weight? Is that something you want to do? How much weight do you want to lose? You want to lose 20, 30, 40, 50? Great. But how do you lose that? 1 pound at a time. So that's the thing. When you make your goals into very achievable goals. You want to exercise? Great. You going to go run a marathon tomorrow if you have never ran a marathon before? No. How are you going to get there? One step at a time. Make your goals small. Make them small and achievable until they're easy, until they become habit. And then do the goals, then increase them. You can always change them. You can always increase them. I had a patient recently who was upset because she lost 2 pounds and she wants to lose, I can't remember, she wants to lose a lot more. And I'm like, wait a minute, 2 pounds. That's 2 pounds in the right direction. With that, when you set a goal and say, for instance, your goal, you're heading in the right direction and then you have a little setback. It's not a setback because you still have made the effort to go in the right direction. So you're still better than you were a day or two ago because you're in the goal mindset. You're in the mindset of moving forward. So no matter what, you're still moving forward. When it comes to pain conditions, there are going to be things in your life that are going to come up with pain. There's a lot of things that cause inflammation. Sometimes it's things you eat, sometimes it's things you do, sometimes it's just the weather. And you can't look at that as a setback, because if you're still like in the mindset of, I recognize this, I'm going to make changes, I'm moving in the right direction, then you're still taking a step each day and moving in, like I said, in the right direction. So make your goals small, make them achievable. Sometimes it may seem silly. A couple months ago on the Body, Mind, Spirit show, I talked to Dr. Venus, and we were talking about exercise. You can go back and, if you want, you can watch that episode on wytv7.org. It was our episode from January, and she was saying that if you've never exercised before, just setting out your exercise clothes every day, just make that a habit. Put out a pair of sneakers. Doesn't mean you have to exercise, but when you get into that habit of putting out the pair of sneakers, do that for a couple of days. Do that for a week. Now make your goal, I'm going to actually put on the sneakers. And then each week, increase your goal. Small baby steps win the race. The tortoise and the hare. Look at the tortoise won. In the end, you're heading the right direction. So I'm just laughing because Drax apparently is not amused with the Facebook Live today. He actually has, I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background other than him barking, which he never does. He's got a bell to open up. He rings it when he wants the back door open. So he's doing that like crazy. So, like I said, wishing, wanting, goals. Take your wishes, take your wants, turn them into, what are my ultimate whys? How can my identity support the things I want? How can I find people that support what I want, instead of getting stuck and focusing on those wants and don't wants? Now make my goals small, easy, obtainable steps. Let's say you want to eat a non-inflammatory diet, or you want to lose weight. All right, it's tough cutting out everything in the world. If you go like, hey, I'm never going to eat sugar again, I'm never going to eat dairy or gluten again, unless you have a big problem with them. If you put restrictions on your brain that I'm going to make that thing a bad to do, and I'm labeling it like these foods are bad, these things are bad, you actually sabotage yourself, because you actually create this system in your brain where you are rewarded when you do those things. Because listen, if you can eat healthy 50% of the time, great. 60% of the time, great. 70% of the time, great. 80% of the time, great. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. If you can get to 80% of the time, that is the goal. And, have times where you enjoy yourself and eat a cake, a cupcake, something along those lines. Do that with any of your goals. Make your goals like, hey, I'm going to, exercise 1 day a week. That's better than no days a week. I'm going to exercise for 10 minutes. That's better than no minutes. So, back to the food specifically. Let's say I go, I'm going to make chocolate a bad food. I'm never going to want to eat chocolate. Never eating chocolate is bad, is bad, is bad. Well, your brain will start like, I want that chocolate. I want that chocolate. And you will end up eating that chocolate. And now when you've eaten that chocolate, you actually get this big rush of dopamine in your brain because you've set up this reward system where you labeled something as bad and now you're eating something, you get this big giant reward system, like rush of like dopamine and happy hormones, and that makes your body actually want to do that bad thing more and more and more. This is the challenge when it comes to kids. You tell a kid no, and what are they going to want to do? They're going to want to try to do that thing. So I don't have the answers about the parenting, but I do, the psychology behind making something bad actually can trigger your body to your brain to want to do that thing more and more. So you just need to kind of change the paradigm, change the wording. And, maybe that thing is a reward versus like something bad. So I hope those things have helped. These are some things that, we can work on with you if you come to the office. So make sure you follow us here on social media. Instagram, follow us. I'm at Dr. Betsy Greenleaf. On Wednesday nights, we got about a month left of the season for the Body, Mind, Spirit show, which is on WYTV7.org on Wednesday nights. Check that out. You can watch the reruns. They also have Some of Your Parts podcast on any place that you listen to podcasts. We will be coming out with some new episodes pretty soon as we wrap up the Body, Mind, Spirit. We'll come back out with the Some of Your Parts. And we're doing some new and exciting things in the office. So go to our website at Greenleaf. Be well. I'll put that up for you. Greenleaf Be Well. Book your discovery call today. So for $59, discovery call where we can find out how we can help be your guide in this journey of wellness. All right. Thank you for being with me on another Thursday. I look forward to seeing you all soon and send in your questions. And don't forget to follow, like, share. Have a great week.